Hey guys, I am Geoffrey Zakarian. As you can see, I'm in my home kitchen. I'm so excited you're joining us. Today we are making something really yummy, a whole wheat chocolate chip muffin. Now, these are really interesting because there's no sugar in them. We're using actually something called a sweet potato, and it's gonna make it super delicious. But before we begin, there are a couple of things I need you to have done as a little homework. So, number one, get your oven preheated to 375 degrees. Number two, line a muffin tin with 12 liners, and you should have a melted stick of butter. All right. Now, as I always talk about, I talk about mise en place. Why are we going to have a successful day and a successful teaching lesson today? Because everything is measured out and perfect. We're ready to begin. Firstly, we have to get these sweet potatoes cooking. Now, I love sweet potatoes because they are full of vitamins and they're full of natural sugar. What I'm going to do is take one or a couple of small ones, just poke them with one of these beautiful skewers. You have these anywhere, and we're going to use these after to actually, you could test the muffins with these to make sure they come out dry. We're going to put those in the microwave for about 15 minutes. Make sure they're very, very well done. It has to be cooked and soft. When they come out, put them right in the fridge and let them cool down. And when they're cool, we're gonna make our recipe. So hit pause and let's get these done. All right, we're back. I have my potatoes. They've shrunk quite a lot, but they're cool. And just take a knife, open it up, and over the bowl, squish them in there like that. And any extra, just go in and dig. You don't wanna waste this. Sort of like, again, like you're making guacamole. Scoop it out. And then we're gonna start our dry ingredients. Okay, so very simple. Whole wheat flour, really very good for you. All measured out. Our pastry flour. Then we're gonna have salt, and salt is always needed in baking. Always. If you don't have salt, it's not gonna taste right. Cinnamon, baking powder, and baking soda. Baking soda is single acting. Baking powder is double acting, so you have two leaveners in this particular recipe. We're just gonna get this together. Now, on to the wet ingredients. Okay, so we have in here our sweet potatoes. We're gonna add 2 eggs. And what I like to do is, before I add everything else, I like to whisk this together. So you wanna make sure that these sweet potatoes are really mashed together with the eggs. Okay, that's nice and smooth. We're gonna add our melted butter. We're gonna add our canola oil or vegetable oil, our milk, whole milk, and our full-fat yogurt. Notice, no sugar. The sweetness comes from the sweet potato. Really delicious. So, we have that mixed. And if you see little bits and pieces, it's certainly okay because it's texture. And I am a member of Team Texture. Okay, our dry and our wet. I'm gonna put that in. So to mix it once, and get the other batch in like that. And then the magic ingredient, that ingredient makes everything good. Chocolate chips. Then just gonna fold it until everything is combined and it's gonna start to look like a batter. And once you see that it is actually folded, stop folding. If you overwork the batter, you will develop the gluten and you will have bread, not a muffin. Okay, just about there, nothing else dry. And just take a look at that one more time so you can see that's what it should look like. All right. We're ready to load our pre-papered muffin tin. What I like to do is go all around with less than a full amount, just to make sure that we're not heavy-handed in any one of the other ones. And I love this. You know, a lot of people ask me what my first job was in the kitchen, and actually, it was a souffle chef. So I know I don't do a lot of baking on camera and sweets on camera, but when I went to Le Cirque in 1982, this chef that was working there, one of his assistants, hurt himself, burned himself badly. And the chef looked at me and said, go over and you're the souffle chef now. And I had never made a souffle in my life. And that night, I think we made 100+ souffles that night, and every night for the next probably 6 or 8 months while I was at that station. And to this day, it's something I actually love making. Now we're gonna just make sure that we top them all off. Certainly, if you have a little left over, you can freeze it, or you can make a few more. So if they're craggly on top, it's good, because the last ingredient is sort of the real icing on the cake or on the muffin. We're gonna top it with some rolled oats. Don't worry if it gets all over the place, it doesn't matter. Just gonna sprinkle them on top. And these are gonna rise. You get that crunchy oatmeal flavor, all the goodness of the sweet potato, and of course, the chocolate. Okay, we're gonna take our muffins into the oven, 375, around 35 minutes. Make sure you take them out and put them on a wire rack to cool. Hit pause, and we'll taste together. Look at this. Here they are, nice and cooled. They look delicious. Look how they've come out a little bit, a little fluffier and higher. I'm gonna take an edge. I like the top. I like to steal the top of muffins and the edges of meatloaf. I'm a thief of taste. It's an exceptional muffin because it's moist. It's not sweet. You don't lack for anything with this muffin. So delicious.